Whew. Hey everybody, forgive me, it's been a very hot, sweaty day. Been getting some things done. Had a couple errands to run this morning, and then the afternoon was working on the project. I'm not gonna lie, today has been a very rough day. And I know I'm caught in that cycle that you know, love bomb, devalue, discard. I'm stuck in it. And I can identify it, and I know that's what it is, but that doesn't make it easier. And that was something that I felt was important to talk about because, again, I always say I am who I say I am, and I have to be truthful. These tricks that sharing with you guys, it's not always a foolproof thing because sometimes you gotta really let go yourself. And I know that right now, I'm really hurting. I'm kind of getting that mindset like, I'm never going to be anybody's number one pick. Nobody's ever really going to listen to me. I'm coming to those conclusions, and I know it's stinking thinking, but it's also based in reality. And I think that's what makes it even harder, is the fact that, usually when I can call something out on bullshit, I'll have evidence to suggest otherwise, and I can rely on that. And this is one of those cases where evidence is not suggesting otherwise. So again, even though I can identify it as stinking thinking, it doesn't help because I don't have a comparison, I don't have anything to alter it against. So, yeah, it makes it hard, but it's ironic because it also makes it easier at the same time, because as I sit here and I think about, everything going on and little things in the background, keep saying that I should, hold on to this. And I know that's my problem, because that's where the conflicting evidence is from, because all the physical evidence is telling me don't go anywhere near it again. But something inside me is saying don't let it go, so I can't. No matter how hard I try. But then the more I sit here in this pain and I think about, she had every opportunity 2 weeks ago to clear this up. All she had to do was, 1, not ignore me, and 2, be honest. And that would have avoided all this. I missed the kid's graduation because of this. This hole is getting deeper. And it's all because she cannot swallow her pride and be the one to reach out to me. Because that's my line in the sand. All these hoops that she's always had me jumping through, always proving myself, the one thing I ever asked is don't make me an afterthought. And that's exactly what she did. And I think it's fair that, all the times, again, I've been jumping through hoops for her, take a leap of faith for me for once. And you not doing it is just proving my point. This is why I said you are not wife material. You want me to sit at home and wait for you while you go out and do the single girl stuff. But I'm the jerk for that. Yeah. Yeah, you can take that attitude and stuff it. I'm really glad I stood on my decision to walk away. Because that's the future I would have been tying myself to. No, thank you. That might have worked back when I was living in her energy. When I didn't have my confidence, when I didn't have my strength of will. But ever since I broke that connection, again, my social, I was out running errands with my mother all day. Okay? Anyone who has a personal relationship with me knows what it's like for me to go shopping with my mother. Nothing against her. It's just she has a completely different way than I do. I'm a quick in and out kind of person. I don't want to deal with people. Mom's a little more take her time. Try and find the best bargain. Again, pros and cons to each style. But yeah, all that social anxiety is still gone. It hasn't crept back. I am going to be honest, some of the depression is creeping back. There's been a few times today that, my mind's gone to some dark places. But it is just moments. It's I won't say that they're easy to fight off, but they're easier to fight off now than they were a couple months ago. A couple months ago, I would have days where it was just this constant, feeling. And again, I know the reason it's intermittent, excuse me, is because it is tied to that training. I was conditioned like Pavlov's dog. That's exactly, my analogy of wasn't a partner, I was a pet. Like, that is absolutely 100% true. And it's going to take a bit to untrain myself. I mean, I've been living that way for years. Every time that I try to exhibit a backbone or have a thought for myself, I got knocked right back down. Obviously, I've overcome that. And that's the thing, I don't claim to be like this genius and I always have everything figured out, but I think it's pretty obvious that, I got a good head on my shoulders. I think about things a lot more deeply than most people. I have insight, I have discernment. And anyone who, has access to that and chooses to ignore it, I think that clearly shows a problem in them. Again, this is one of those cases, the evidence. We've been doing these videos enough. I've been talking about my process. Again, I definitely have something to offer. But the people that choose not to see it, that's their choice. But they get to live with the consequences of their choices. Because that's the whole thing. That's how it all works. Every time you make a bad choice, you have to clear that karmic debt. That is part of repentance. For the people that don't like to mix, the spirituality and the religious aspects of it, I got bad news for you. That's how it works. But yeah, every time you make those mistakes, you have to clear that. You have to make it right. And then, again, that repentance isn't just say, oh, sorry, my bad. No. You have to change that behavior. And that's what the whole thing is about. That's where I've been circling to, is it's all about cycles. You have to break cycles. The cycles in your life that keep you held back, that's what I'm doing right now. Because the old cycle of me would have gone running back to her. Because I, feeling like I feel now, I feel, well, let's not get into that right now. But, it's not good. But you can't heal in the place that hurt you. It doesn't work. And that's the part that I'm just waiting for it to sink in. I'm waiting for my subconscious to accept what my conscious mind already knows. I mean, my heart already knows it. It was the first thing that figured it out. As soon as I got stabbed like that, oof, that was instant. The brain took a little while. Now it's the only holdout is the subconscious. I just got to keep telling I got to keep reminding myself every time I get in that cycle. I just got to fight it, as best I can. Last night I broke down. I finally, I didn't have that many pictures in the phone to begin with, to be honest. But I deleted them. Deleted the old messages. And a couple times today, I almost had the weakness, in the moment to take the blocks off, from being able to reach out to call or text or Facebook or anything. And I almost did, but no, I can't do that. I cannot do that. But yeah, focus on the cycles. That's, again, going back to the journaling and breaking down your worldviews. This is what's going to help you find those cycles, to identify them. And then once you identify the cycle, then you can figure out the piece that you can change. And once you change it, once you break that cycle, just don't forget how you broke it, because life lessons, just because you learn the lesson, sometimes you need it from another angle. So don't think just because you learn from it, it's not going to show up again. That is not how life works. Sorry about your luck. But we're still here. We're still, keeping as strong as we can. Trying to keep, the positive, uplifting music while I was working earlier today. Of course, I was having internet connection issues, and all my music is streaming, so that was a bit of a problem, but it's something else to try and frustrate you. I'm being tested a lot lately. I can definitely feel that. But everything's telling me just stick with it, stay strong. Each day I'm staying active. I'm doing the things I need to do to progress forward. And I'm trying to set my life up in a way that I don't have to rely on somebody to be there. I know that's doing life on hard mode, but and again, it's not, I'm not letting this experience kill my desire for romantic love, but it's definitely killing my hope in it. There is a difference. I have to reserve all my faith for God right now, so I don't have time to waste it on once. I have to focus on the needs, but again, that's part of the discipline. That's part of the cycle. A lot of people see me, especially when I have those emotional moments where I have that release. That is a requirement. That's how you properly heal. You have to release. So don't listen to those jockheads out there that are telling you, oh, men don't cry. Fuck you. Toxic men don't cry. People that are dangerous don't handle their emotions. But that's the thing. You got to handle them appropriately. You can't just lash out. It has to be in a controlled situation. But when you bottle it up, it only makes things worse. But again, there's that discernment. A lot of people, that is the key to everything. I'm telling you, it has absolutely become my favorite superpower is my discernment. Because you cannot, again, you have to get out of that binary thinking. It is not black and white. And that's actually one of the causes of a lot of the problems going on around us right now. So, but yeah, just keep trying to find the cycles and keep trying to find the way to break them. You know, find the difference that you can make. And that's the hard part, you know. I think another worst part of this is, you know, my entire social circle crumbled all at once. All different ways, too, man. Some people just stopped showing up for whatever reason. Some people started acting shady. Of course, you know, there was the breakup. And one friend that got himself into quite a bit of trouble. We won't go into detail on that, but needless to say, he can't be around for other reasons. You know, and I'm used to having this sounding board. You know, to bounce things off of, and where I don't have that right now, it's kind of like, oh, excuse me. Oh. It's not even that late. It's only a little, well, of course, I did just eat dinner, so I got full belly syndrome, but it was hot today. I'm so drained, but I'm still going. I got a lot I want to get done. You know, I have to change my environment. I want to get it more organized, and that's part of the process, too. You know, I got to put my, something I got to say, not that it'll matter much, but my sister picked me up the parts yesterday so I can hang a ceiling fan that I've been wanting around here. So once I get this big mess out of my way, then I'll have the room to bring the ladder over and hang the fan. So that'll be nice. But again, it's all in steps. I got to go through the process. And that's kind of the message is, you know, the process is not a miracle cure. It is not, even though I have it down to where some things I can do, like that finger snap, I can do some things that way. But when it comes to processing and releasing, there's not really a shortcut to that. You just got to let it run its course. Oh, you have to be, excuse me, mindful, again, that you're not letting it control you. That is the core of everything. Do not let the emotions control you. You can let them guide you, but don't let them control you. But, all right, I'm a little over time. Weather's getting pretty bad out there. I got some more work I want to get done. But I did want to check in, you know, especially because yesterday it was one of them fire days. And, you know, I thought about not doing a recording today because of the mode. But, again, the point of this channel is raw and real, and it's truth. And this is the truth. This is where I'm at. This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm feeling. But, again, it's that if I overwhelm, then I let the emotions take control, I'd be in a really bad, like super bad place right now. I would be in a dangerous place right now. But because I have learned, you know, I've given myself that discipline to control, I can accept those emotions as they are and let them pass. Everything is always a step, you know, as long as you've got forward momentum, it's always a step in the right direction. And sometimes you got to pause and get your bearings. Sometimes you got to stop on your knees and pray for guidance. Oh, shit. Don't let the halts dishearten you, but don't let yourself get stuck there either. You know, you got to fight. That's the message. Fight. Your life is worth fighting for, but nobody can fight for it but you. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . All right. So take care of yourself. Try and take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one.